Welcome back to my channel. Ever wonder if she's dropping hints? She's totally into you but just isn't saying it out loud. Well, you're in the right place today. We're breaking down 8 subtle touches that mean she wants you bad, but she's keeping it on the sly, from those lingering hand grazes to accidental nudges. These are the signs you don't want to miss. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for before we jump in. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss more flirty tips like this one. Now let's get started. 1. The light arm touch your mid-sea conversation, sharing a laugh or swapping fascinating stories. And touch number 1, the playful tap. Suddenly her hand grazes your arm just for a second. Maybe she's laughing at the lingering touch, your joke lightly tapping your bicep in delight or emphasizing a point with a brush of her fingers. It's subtle, it's casual, but trust me, it's deliberate. The light arm touch is one of her ways of testing the waters. Why does this fleeting contact matter? Because the arm is a safe zone, non-threatening, non-intimidating, but still intimate enough to break the invisible wall of personal space. When she touches your arm, it means she's comfortable, intrigued, and possibly trying to signal that her interest in you goes beyond casual chatter. This isn't just happenstance, it's an invitation to notice her interest. She might not say it outright, but her body language is doing all the talking. She's testing your response where you lean in, laugh, make an equally flirty move in return, or, worse, pull away. The way you react can influence what happens next. If you welcome her touch, maybe with a smile, a playful comment, or even a light touch back, she knows you're in the game. A positive response encourages her to take things further, upping the level of connection between you two. But if you pull away or ignore it altogether, she touch number 2. The lingering hand could interpret the subtle rejection as disinterest and back off. The light arm touch is sweet but loaded with potential. She's bridging the playful pushes and nudges. Physical gap between you, testing the waters to see if you're open to something more. Pay attention, read the moment, and if the spark is mutual, don't be a heir to follow her lead. Sometimes the smallest gestures speak volumes about her intentions. 2. The playful push. The playful push, it's not just a random shove. It's a classic move in the game of attraction picture. This scenario, you're in the middle of a fun, teasing conversation, maybe cracking a harmless joke or calling her out on that time. She got a little too competitive at trivia night. Suddenly, she reaches over and gives you a light push on your AR arm or shoulder, or while laughing and keeping eye contact. If this happens, make no mistake, this is not an accident. Welcome to flirt. Bill. The playful push is her way of testing the waters. It's a move that says, I'm comfortable enough to touch you, but I'm going to keep it casual so you won't call me out on it. Breaking the touch barrier in this light-hearted way allows her to gauge your reaction. Do you smirk, push her back playfully, flirtatiously, grab her hand if you pass this invisible litmus test? You might be on the fast track to something more. But why does she do it? Because this small gesture adds just the right amount of spark to make things interesting. It's loaded with a mix of attraction, fixing your hair clothes. Touch number 3, the arm brush. Curiosity and a little hint of shyness. After all, not all women are going to come right out and say, hey, I like you, but this small physical connection speaks volumes. The key is how she follows up. The push is almost always accompanied by laughter, a smile or a cheek comment. These are signals that she's having fun and enjoying the vibes between you two. Now, your job: respond and can give her a playful nudge back or lean in to deepen the conversation. Remember, flirting is all about a little give and take, so match her energy and humour while subtly showing her you're just as interested, and trust me, if she's giving you that playful push, she wants to keep the chemistry sizzling through the knee touch. The knee touch, subtle yet oh so powerful. You're sitting next to her, maybe engrossed in a conversation or laughing at some silly joke when suddenly her hand grazes your knee. It could be just for a second, fleeting enough to seem casual, but make no mistake, this is not accidental. A move like this screams one thing loud and clear without saying a word. She's testing the waters for something more. The knee touch might feel like a light, almost innocent gesture, but don't underestimate its impact. It's a deliberate move that takes the conversation from friend-friendly territory into something much more touching, your hand subtly thrilling. Why? Because the knee is just neutral enough to not seem overly forward, but close enough to spark a connection of unmistakable chemistry. It's her way of saying, I feel comfortable with you, while also leaving the door wide open for you to make the next move. Usually, this touch happens when you're sitting side by side, perhaps on a couch, at a bar, or wherever close proximity isn't unusual. She doesn't explicitly verbalize her interest, but her actions do all the talking. When she places her hand on your knee, even for just a second, she's gauging your reaction. Will you pull away, laugh it off? Touch number 4, the leg touch, or better yet, welcome her. Advance with open arms, or in this case, open knees. Then why does she do it well? But simply, she wants to create a moment. It's a bold yet playful act that allows her to test the connection between you two, without totally putting herself out there. She's dipping her toes in and seeing if you're ready to meet her in this flirty little game. Now, here's how you should respond if you like. Where this is going, show her smile, flirt back, or even gently place your hand on hers. For a brief touch, these affirmations signal that you're enjoying her attention and are open to exploring the spark she's igniting. Remember, the knee touch isn't just a random act, it's a green light. A little nudge to say, come closer, don't miss out, lean into the moment, literally or figuratively, and see where this electrifying interaction takes you. Or the hair flip with a brush, other classic hair flip. But add a touch of mystery and excitement when it's accompanied by a light brush against your arm or shoulder. This move is resting her hand on you, intentional, calculated, and undeniably flirty. She's sending out signals louder than the music at a Friday night party, yet subtle enough to make you wonder, is this happening, or am I imagining things? Spoiler alerts, it's definitely happening. This gesture most often sneaks its way into moments of eye contact or casual conversations. Picture this, you're mid-sentence talking about your recent weekend adventure, and suddenly she flips her hair like she's straight out of a rom-com, her fingers grazing your shoulder. That touch. Oh, it's not random. It's an invitation, a deliberate nudge to pull your energy toward her. Why does she do it well? For starters, the hair flip alone. Touch number 5. The hair twirl. And touch is a symbol of attraction in the world of body language. It draws attention to her face, her hair, her magnetic presence. But when she adds that feather will touch on you, the meaning deepens. She curious, does her subtle move spark a reaction from you? It's her way of testing the waters to see if you're tuned in and receptive to her. Charming advances, responding to this moment, seals the deal, a playful smile. AC, quick compliment on her hair or how she's stealing the spotlight in the room. It shows her that not only have you noticed, but you're also game for a little flirtatious exchange. Confidence is key, leaning into the moment without overthinking it. Something as simple as, was that little touch supposed to get my attention? Because it definitely worked. Paired with a warm smile, lets her know you're catching every little move she's made. Bottom line, when she flips her hair and grazes. Is your arm? Don't underestimate it. It's a neon sign in disguise flashing, finding excuses to be closed them into you, so don't miss your chance to match her playful energy. 5. The accidental bump. You've probably experienced this one before. One of those subtle, yet oh-ho, suggestive moments that leaves you guessing. The accidental bump is rarely as accidental as it seems. Picture this scenario, you're walking side by side, engrossed in conversation, or maybe just soaking up the moment, and suddenly your shoulders or arms touch. She might lightly brush against you, maybe move into your space just a little too close. In a crowded setting, it feels innocent on the surface, But is it really, spoiler alert? It's not. This little gesture is her sneaky way of testing the waters, seeing how you'll react to her being in your bubble. It's not a full-on bear hug or anything intense, but it doesn't need to be that brief. So-called accidental can be electrifying because of the touch number 6. The face. Caress subtle tension it creates if she bumps into you and doesn't move away immediately, or even better, if she flashes a cheeky smile. Afterward, consider it a neon sign that she's intrigued by you. Well, why does she do this? Because it's low risk and playful. She gets to feel that tiny spark of contact while leaving you, wondering whether it was a true accident or something more intentional. It's her way of flirting without saying a word and gauging whether you're into her too. It's like dipping her toe into the pool before plunging all the way in. So don't take that accidental brush off lightly. It's a calculated move, disguised arm or back touches as something casual. Now, what's the best way to respond? Keep it light and flirtatious, just like her move. If the opportunity arrives, as bump her. Back gently and playfully, adding a playful, hey, watch where you're going with a smile. If she lingers after the bump, use that moment to make eye contact or throw in a compliment. The key here is confidence without overdoing it. The accidental bump is her icebreaker, so meet her halfway and see where that spark leads you. Who knows, that little nudge might just be the start of a deeper connection. 6, the back touch. There's something undeniably intimate about the back touch. It's simple, yet it speaks volume without a single word being uttered when a woman places a hand on your back. It's not a coincidence, it's a deliberate act of connection. This isn't touch number 7. The shoulder hold. Just a friendly pat or casual brush. This touch carries her interest wrapped up in quiet confidence. Picture this. You're walking through a crowded space, and she gently guides you with her hand on your back. The touch, it's full of intention. Whether it's leading you through a doorway, standing close in a dimly lit room, or casually resting her hand there as you chat, it's her soft, unspoken way of saying, she's got her eye on you. Her hand lingering on your back creates a connection, a signal that she's comfortable being physically near you. And maybe even wants you to notice how her presence feels, just as much as she notices yours. Why does she do it, you ask? It's because this touch is protective, the ultimate sign of attraction, yet intimate, a way to show she wants to take care of you in her own way. There's also an element of trust here. She's willing to break the invisible barrier of personal space to reach out to you. It's her way of saying, I feel good around you and I want you to know it. This action is so much more than a fleeting gesture. It's an open door to her feelings. Now, how should you respond? The key here is awareness. If she's placed her hand on your back, recognize it for what it is. A signal of closeness and connection. Lean into that trust. You can reciprocate casually by smiling, making eye contact, or even returning the touch. Touch number 8, the intimate lean. In natural, nonchalant way, slide your hand up to briefly touch hers, or perhaps place your hand lightly on her back in response. It's all about matching her energy while keeping things flirty, yet respectful. The back touch is her way of saying she's drawn to you. Don't brush it off as nothing. Instead, see it for what it is, her way of getting closer, both emotionally and physically. If you read the moment right, it might just lead to something even more electrifying. 7, the shoulder lean. The infamous shoulder lean. Such a subtle move, yet packed with powerful meaning. Picture this. You're sitting next to her on the couch, sharing a laugh or perhaps walking side by side when she suddenly lets her head rest gently on your shoulder. It may last for just a few seconds, but trust me, there's nothing accidental about it. This is not just a casual move. It's her way of saying, hey, "I feel safe with you," without actually uttering a single word. And what's sexier than someone trusting you with that kind of vulnerability? The shoulder lean usually happens in moments of cloth, when the two of you are relaxed, engaged in a meaningful conversation, or even just sitting in comfortable silence, soaking in each other's presence. It's subtle, yes, but its meaning is deeply intimate. This touch speaks louder than kissing or hand-holding. Sometimes it hints at her desire to connect with you on a deeper emotional level. For her, leaning into your shoulder is a coy little escape, a silent signal that she craves closeness, and not just physically. Why does she do it? Simple. She's letting her guard down. It takes a lot to open up emotionally, and by making this affectionate gesture, she's showing you just how much trust and warmth she feels toward you. It's not just about balance or comfort. It's about saying, "I'm comfortable enough with you to lean on you in more ways than one." The way you respond, "Oh, this is where you shine, don't overthink it." Just relax and enjoy the moment. Subtly shift your position to accommodate her. Maybe even rest your head lightly against her as if it feels right. Show her you're equally comfortable with this closeness, and she'll feel even more drawn to you. After all, the shoulder lean isn't just flotation. It's an unspoken invitation to something much deeper. You've got her attention. Now it's your move at the leg brush. The leg brush subtlety at its final. This move belongs in the Hall of Fame of flirtatious behavior. Picture this, you're sitting close to her, perhaps at a cozy table for two, or maybe you're crammed into a booth with friends. Then it happens. Her leg lightly grazes yours. At first, you might think it's an accident, and it could be. But when it happens a second time and then a third, it's no coincidence. It's a carefully calculated move to dip her toes, intended into the waters of physical intimacy. The leg brush is non-verbal communication served with a healthy dash of cheekiness. There's a thrill to touching without making it too direct or obvious for her. It's about bridging the physical gap between you two, while gauging your reaction if you tense up or move away. She'll likely take that as a signal to pump the brakes. But if you relax or even lean into the situation, you're giving her the green light to keep escalating the chemistry. Why does she do it well? It could mean she's feeling bold and wants to subtly show her interest without outright saying it. The leg brush is her way of testing the waters, a playful way to flirt while keeping things light and fun. It's intimate enough to grab your attention, but not so forward that it risks being too much. Too soon. Trust us if she's brushing her leg against yours. Intentionally, she's inviting you into her little world of flirty fun. The key to responding is just as understated as her move. Don't overreact or draw attention to it instead. See how you feel about it. If you're just as interested, keep the contact. Maybe gently press your leg back against hers. She'll notice and love the reciprocation. Whatever you do, remember to stay confident. This isn't about making a big decoration. It's about sharing an unspoken moment full of playful tension that says more than words could sometimes start with the lightest touch, or in this case, the soft brush of a leg. Inclusion physical touches can speak volumes when words fall short, and deciphering these subtle cues can deepen your connection. Whether it's the light touch on your back, the cozy lean on your shoulder, or the playful brush of her leg, every gesture carries a hidden layer of meaning. The key to understanding these signs is staying present. Tuned and confident in your interactions. Remember, it's not just about noticing the touch. It's about reading the intent behind it and responding in a way. Thank you. If you like this video, please share the video and subscribe to our channel, Modern Stoic. And also press the bell icon button so that our next video will reach you easily. Thank you very much, very